Hello, class is in session. Good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon, good evening, and hello. How are we today? I'm not gonna lie, I just realized I'm a little low on energy, so this one's gonna be a bit low, but we're gonna bring shit up. We're gonna bring the energy up. Today's day one of the new challenge I'm doing for Instagram. It is 30 days of walking 20,000 steps a day. I haven't officially released the challenge yet, so whoever watches this video will be the first people to see this video. So congratulations. I'm doing the challenge for the many benefits that I'll be explaining in the series. There'll be an episode every single day. So have a look at that on Instagram. Anyways, today we are talking about the real life principles for fat loss. We talk about fat loss, and I will talk about fat loss for the rest of my life because it's important, and exercise is incredibly important. And the principles are even more important. And how do you apply it to real life? And if you stay to the end, you'll get to see how I remove these sticky notes and I get to tease you with all this useful information. So please stay to the end, like and follow and subscribe or whatnot. Anyways, I think the main principles that define fat loss are your walking, your exercise, which are two separate things, I think, your meals, your stress, and your dopamine. Aside from all the other things, but these are, I would say, the main factors that influence fat loss. And in no order of specific, of importance, of firsts, I haven't necessarily said this is more important than that, basically what I'm saying. I think it's just visually, I kind of go up to down to top, or top to down, whatever it is. So, walking. Neat. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis. That is an important thing. Me doing this right now, lifting my hands, is neat. It is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's me burning calories. I am an active talker. Me scratching my leg, me leaning over is a non-activity exercise thermogenesis. It is important. That's why we say get up. That's why your watch tells you to move a little bit. Those small things, they play a part. If you look at the general lifestyle of someone who is generally fit, neat, who is athletic, who is lean, they will tend to have a higher need, so they will not be so sedentary than the average office worker. I am reporting great. So they will be naturally more inclined to be habitually walking more, doing more, going to the bathroom further. Those things all add up. 5-10 calories, but the principles remain the same because potentially if you're active, you might be less hungry, you might be less inclined to snack, you might walk further from the car to the store. All these subconscious things add up. Cardio. Cardio is an important part, so it kind of ties in with walking. And as we say, you need to walk to get your steps and get your NEAT, non-activity exercise thermogenesis. Cardio is another important thing for fat loss. You don't need cardio. You don't need cardio. You don't need to run. You don't need to do any cardio at all on the treadmill. Walking and NEAT, what I just described, is actually plenty. But if you are someone who is extremely sedentary, that means sitting on your ass 8 hours a day and then you go to doom scroll in the afternoon and Netflix and chill because that is the definition of you being exhausted, then you need some cardio. You need it for your health. You need cardiovascular benefits. You need to get your heart rate up. You want to live longer. You're burned through the heavy fat around your arteries. All these things is important. And there's different cardio protocols you can do for different reasons, but majority of people don't need cardio if their need is up. Exercise. Who would have guessed? I wonder if you guys can guess what the next things are. Take a guess. Strength training. Strength training is important. I'm going to preach it. I'm going to preach it till I die because it is the number one key to longevity, to youth. It strengthens your ligaments, your bones, your muscle mass. You burn more calories if you have more muscle. That's it. All you got to do is 2 to 3 full body strength training sessions a week, and you are set. You're not going to become bulky. You're not going to be a bodybuilder. You're not going to get jacked. If you want to get jacked, you can, but you're not going to if that's your fear. Do some strength training. What did I put here? Other. Yes, I did. Other is important. Exercise. So this is other exercise that might not involve the gym or specifically the barbell or dumbbell. So this could be Pilates. It could be yoga. It could be bouldering. I had a client conversation the other day. She's a big boulderer. Boulderer? Is that a term? Walking dog is a form of exercise. Skiing is a big thing right now in Norway with the season right now. Those are other forms of exercise that stress your muscle, your body, and ligaments. Consider doing more of those. Paddle. Do a paddle date with your partner once a week as a date night. Go paddle, like the indoor tennis mini racket thing, Do that. It's a great way. It's a great way to burn calories, be active, and your body will thank you later. Now, meals. Meal frequency. This is supposed to say frequency. Clearly I didn't. Frequency. Thank you very much. So the amount of meals and frequency is important in terms of what you have and how to systemize your life so you don't, I'm trying to line this up there, whatever. So that it doesn't revolve around you calorie tracking the rest of your life, because you don't have to. If you don't want to, you can. If you want to, feel free. And you'll have, oh, it's an eating disorder. Oh, it's good for you. Like, pick whatever, feed whichever devil you want to feed, whatever side you want to feed. I think calorie tracking is great. If, hypothetically, you have 21 meals a week, let's say 3 meals a day, 21 meals a week. I say I'm doing notes here. I'm making you visually learn with me. I want you to have, for the sake of fat loss and ease and brain recovery and less cluster, less overwhelm, I want you to have 19 meals a week that are identical. They are the same rhythm, routine, consistent. Same breakfast, same lunch, same dinner. Because you like it, so you make a recipe and you find a calorie recipe that's good with high protein that you like, and you eat it like a robot on autopilot where you don't think. And then the last 2 meals, if you want to, a week, are your flexible meals where you can go out for a dinner date with your partner, a co-worker social event, a dinner at your besties, and that might be something that you don't prepare or you don't control because it's a restaurant or your friends cooking dinner for you. And if you do that, you'll still get your goals. You'll still get fat loss, you'll still stay strong, you'll build muscle, and all these things, and your body composition won't change much because those 2 meals will not influence you that much. Unless, you know, that meal happens to be an all-you-can-eat sushi buffet, and you go like, I'm gonna eat my money's worth, and you eat 900 pieces or something. I think the best I've done was like 75 pieces of sushi. It has to be 75. God, it ruined me. Yeah, so basically, mate, that's a system. Which brings me on to my next point, which is calories. They matter. That's it. I'm not going to say anything else. They matter. Calories are important. They matter. No matter what you say. Basic law of thermogenesis, science, principles. Calories in versus calories out, they matter. I'm not going to go much into more. I've talked about it for you in a different video. I'll talk about it again in a different video. Now, the last 2. Stress. Cortisol. Cortisol is a big important thing. It's a no-no. It's a giant stress hormone that we release all the time. Lifting weights and strength training is actually a form of stress on the body, which actually produces cortisol. Drinking caffeine produces cortisol. Having a high-stress job produces cortisol. Your kids stressing you out, your partner yelling at you, all these things, they pile up massively. You need to learn to manage that. You need to learn to let go of things, not bring stress home where you don't have to, and find ways to recover and bring it down. That is you time, that is Zen time, that is disconnecting from that. I'm not going to educate you on hormones. That's not what I do. It's not my field of study or whatnot. So I'm not going to go into the depths of cortisol too much. We should turn off the steam overlay thing. But cortisol is important, so we want to manage that. Because also it will affect your fat loss so much more. And of course, recovery, which is also incredibly tied in together. Because if you're highly stressed, you're not recovering, you're not sleeping, and if you're working too hard, you're sleeping less, and then it lies, pause up. An hour before bed, no screen time. Have your caffeine, the last cup of coffee at 2 p.m. because if your bedtime is at 9 or 8, the caffeine half-life is 8 hours. You don't want to have your caffeine in your system that long. If you're training late at night, have a non-caffeinated stimulant pre-workout, or you don't need it. Take off the blue light. Have your phone on do not disturb. All these things add up. Because the next thing is, which is very, very important, delayed gratification. Super important how it rolls over into all of this. I'm going to go into the next one straight away because I want to talk about it all together. Because it's all to do with discipline. Discipline, delayed gratification, improves your recovery. You don't need an Instagram. You don't need to brain rot on Instagram before bed. Because you want to do that because you have the discipline to go to sleep. Because you're staying up and you're causing more cortisol and more stress in your life, which is increasing your calories, which is making you hungrier, which is increasing the frequency of your meals, which then makes you skip training and perform training as well. So then you do more cardio and that burns you out, and then therefore your NEAT goes to shit and your fat loss goes to shit, and this is the end of the video. Do you see what I mean? It's a vicious cycle. practice discipline. Anyways, I'll catch you in the next one.